Hello, everybody, and welcome to Misscliks D&D Devotion. Ransom, how you doing today, man?
Hey, wow. It's good to be back. It's been a while.
It has been a while. What have you been up to while Ransom has been away?
Boy, there's been a lot of exciting things. Kobolds and Catacombs came out for Hearthstone. I've been putting in something like 12 hours every day on doing some sick dungeon running.
That is a long day. All right. Well, why don't we talk a little bit about what Ransom has been up to since we last saw him when he broke Kess's heart and fled with Rhonda.
Yeah.
What has Ransom been doing?
Well, Rhonda and Ransom sailed on a boat back to Bridgelight, and since then, Ransom has been getting to know the life of a noble.
How is all of the dinner conversation and back and forth politics and discussing finances and abstract concepts working with our intelligence-based fighter? Is it up his alley?
He's got the intellectual capacity for it, but it's just not really an interest of his.
So maybe not everything is happy in New Paradise?
I think he finds all their discussion to be either pointless or wrong because he feels like he's smarter than them, and he probably is.
He probably is. What's Ransom's intelligence again?
Let me check, but I believe it's a 17.
You're most definitely smarter than everyone else in the room then. If it's actually 17.
Let's see. It is a... It's a 17, yep.
Well, yeah, that'll do it. That'll do it. So we're actually going to come into game not in the role-playing situation. Let's take a look at the world map here. Everybody, we are going to be taking a look at Sky Peak, that mountaintop town where the mithril is being mined. And we're actually going to kind of cut into the middle of the story here because Rhonda and Ransom have been dispatched by Kelbel to re-secure the mithril mines after a group of ogres came up south from the Laconish Highlands, made their way across the open plains, and attacked Sky Peak, ripping open that big cage around the mine and trying to steal some mithril from it. So we will actually come into the middle of combat, really, where Ransom and Rhonda have sort of fought your way through the mines with the help of some other soldiers, but now you've gotten to this narrow passage, and at the back of the mine is the leader of this band of ogres that has managed to take over. You've gotten rid of all of the other guys already, and most of your troops have been injured or pulled back because there's not quite good enough to come up against this leader ogre. So you've got with you Rhonda, the 3rd level fighter, and Ransom, the 7th level fighter, against this ogre chieftain who's standing at the back of this cave. The cave is this mined out area is maybe 20 feet across, 15 feet high, and it's crude, it's been chipped apart with picks and axes and stuff, and there's debris all over the place. There's no stalactites or stalagmites because it's a man-made cave, not a natural cave. But there are a couple of pillars that are holding the ceiling up as supports. And standing at the back is this 12-foot tall, heavy-set, older ogre with a bit of a gray beard coming down, who wears some mismatched chain and leather armor over its body and carries a really nasty axe in one hand and a crude morning star in the other. The ogre, who speaks a little bit of the common tongue, is huffing and puffing. It's been fighting its way backwards and backwards as you guys have been pushing it, and is now eyeing the two of you suspiciously.
Stand back, men. Rhonda and I will be able to dispatch this beast.
It holds a bag of mithril that it's picked up, kind of tucked under one arm. if I have it. I'll just use a teapot as an example. So it's got like its bag of mithril here and its weapons in its hands. Looking at the two of you.
I've been steadily advancing with my halberd pointing, my glaive pointing at it, and just been like, drop your weapon and we'll give you a quick death.
Drop your weapons, or I will give you a slow death.
I'm going to say no to that.
All right, let us hop into combat here. Why don't we roll for initiative? The ogre rolls really terribly, and Rhonda rolls even worse. Wow, look at that. Wow. But they're all in order. So Ransom, it's your call.
Okay, well, I will just go ahead and advance to 10 feet of the ogre so I can hit him with my glaive. Let's see, that's just that.
Ooh, no. Your glaive comes against the scale and the chain and leather armor, scraping off without anything. The ogre lifts its arm, dropping its bag or teapot filled with mithril to the ground, and makes 2 attacks at Ransom. One with the the axe, which is a 16 to hit.
Let's see, my AC is 15.
Ooh, that will hit for 6 points of damage. And the other one is a 23, but a natural 18. And if your AC is 15, that is actually a critical hit against you with the Morning Star.
Ouch.
Yeah. That is 12 points of damage with the crit.
Oh dear.
It batters you back and forth, axe in one hand, Morning Star in the other, as Rhonda, your bride-to-be, your fiancée, comes up beside you. I'll have you roll Rhonda's attacks. She's at D20 plus 4 to hit.
Okay. Ha!
Whoa, that actually is a critical hit against the ogre. That would be 2d12 plus 2. Dear God,
wow,
Rhonda has always been a beast.
Wow.
Wow. Oh, hey, we definitely need to track over HP over here. 16, dear God. That's a pretty significant hit on this ogre. It like cuts open a spot on the belly, and you can just see like this little bit of fat kind of falls out and onto the ground, and you think you can maybe see some of the small intestines leaking out a little bit, but the ogre doesn't seem to mind too much. It's pretty furious here. Let's roll initiative again. Ogre goes at, oops, that should be plus 6, at 10.
Okay. And the roll initiative for Rhonda, it's plus 3?
Yes. Plus 5, I'm sorry, plus 5.
It's 5.
Hey. The ogre goes at 10, so it goes first, bringing its axe, changing from you to Rhonda, who's clearly the real threat here. The axe comes down with a 17 to hit, smashing Rhonda for 10 points of damage. Oh my God, I'll just track her HP over here.
Ouch. Does she still have the 30 hit points?
Yes, she does. And brings the Morning Star around for a miss, colliding with her breastplate, which she now has since she's back in her homeland and she's got better gear, which actually sends her backwards, kind of clattering to the ground. But Rhonda, being the tough bastard that she is, pulls herself up, and it's your turn to her turn.
Okay. How dare you hurt Rhonda? I say as I stab at it with my glaive again.
That'll do it.
Alright, that is 1d10 plus 3 for me.
Oh my God. You guys are rolling so well. This ogre
Of course,
wasn't...
we make a great team. Rhonda will go ahead and, what weapon is she using?
She's using a longsword.
She'll stick that into, should try to stick that into the ogre again.
Ooh, not so good. Gets caught up in that armor. Both of you are specialized, so you get your second attacks this round.
Oh wow, alright, I'll roll Rhonda's first. That's a crit fail.
Ooh.
I'll go and roll 1.
There
20.
you go. That'll get it.
For another 9.
God. I was actually going to have this battle be difficult for you guys, but you are rolling really, really high on damage. Okay, let's go to the next round. The ogre is barely alive. It's at like, 1/5 of its maximum HP. It's got cuts, it's got like holes in it, and it's got this big gash across the belly where things are definitely starting to slip out. Like, you can see bits of intestine actually hanging down, kind of covering the ogre's belly a little bit here.
Ugh, you stink, ogre. Why don't you roll over and die?
Okay. Ogre gives a ferocious growl at you, saying, "You'll never take our mines. These are ours by right." But it goes last in the initiative order. So, Rhonda, start it off here.
Well, all I say as Rhonda goes ahead and attacks. We're the ones who set up camp here. I'm afraid it's ours.
No good.
And here's Ransom's attack. 19.
Very good.
And that is for +3. Oh, 13.
Oh my god. Okay. The ogre chieftain rolls really great on its morale. It's literally at 1 hit point, but rather than cave in and try and beg for its life, it's going full ham. It brings the Morningstar against Rhonda for a natural 20. Criticaling Rhonda for 15 points of damage, which brings her
to kill my future wife.
Which brings her to 5, and rolls a natural 1 against Ransom. It put everything it had into that axe attack, and the Morningstar just kind of like flops towards you slightly. You can see the effort and life just draining from the ogre's face as the blood runs down its legs and pools at its feet. It groans, moving slowly. Ooh, there you go, Rhonda.
All right.
Ogre's barely standing, slashing weakly at you.
Rhonda sees her chance, and she's gonna take it. Oh.
No, she's not. No, really, she's not. The ogre comes around, axe weakly thrashing at Rhonda with a miss, and Morningstar weakly thrashing at Ransom. You said your AC's 15?
Yes.
That is a hit for another 8 points of damage. Morningstar finds a home right between your head and your shoulder, cracking. You can feel like small fractures in your collarbone.
Ouch. All right, well, here's my final attack on it.
AC 15, no!
All right, together now, Rhonda, I shout as we drive our weapons together.
Absolutely, you get your second attacks this round, so both of you go to hit.
This is mine?
That will do it. That will do it. The ogre had...
Go ahead and roll hers too. Oh, all right.
Maybe she needs a little more training. You get the end of your glaive right into the ogre's chest, and it just crumples to the ground with a thump and lands on top of the mithril ore that it had been trying to hoard. The ogre successfully defeated. The two of you make your way out of the mines. The other troops that you brought with you are here, nursing injuries, being looked after by the cleric here in Sky Peak. Yeah, the two of you are free to chat now as you step out of the mine.
Excellent work.
Thank you. You did pretty well yourself there, hun. But really, you gotta be a little bit more diplomatic. We could have taken that creature and talked to it, gathered information. You gotta start thinking about the bigger picture if you're gonna be my husband and we're gonna be, inheriting lands here. It's not enough to kill monsters. We have to, Ransom, you really gotta start big picturing these things. That
Wait,
could have
the
been a
ogre?
prize.
The one who's slain a bunch of miners on the way in? You think he could be reasoned with?
I mean, maybe not, but you didn't even try. You just skewered him.
Well, yes, I did.
You did good, I guess. You did good. You helped me out.
Thank you. And of course, you helped me out. You had a few very good hits on.
Oh, did you see that first one?
Yeah.
Opened his belly. Oh.
So proud of you. You've picked up the ability to attack so quickly.
Well, I will go talk to the men and see about getting a wagon down the mountain. No need to walk or strain ourselves if we don't have to. Am I right? A lot better than all those days hiking across the stupid Akuban deserts.
I didn't mind that too much. You don't want to take a moment to enjoy the scenery?
She looks around at the bleak mountainside. I mean, sure, it's got the gorgeous view of the world around you, but it's like windy and cold up here. She gives like this half-hearted look around. Because, no, this place is a hellhole. I'd never want to live here, let alone enjoy it. I'm just glad we get to go home. And walks off to go deal with negotiate a cart from the people up here.
I guess. Well, I'll go wander off over to the edge and enjoy the sight at least.
Speaking of, the Edge is actually the name of this town. I'd forgotten its name until you just said it. So, you find yourself standing near the edge of the pass, kind of looking over the plains below, out over the lake just to the west of you. There's a few of the other soldiers here that have come up with you. A few wounded, one medic, and one guy who, didn't get injured but fell back with everyone else because there wasn't enough room to fight the ogre with everyone. The one of the injured soldiers looks to you, kind of gives you a half-hearted salute, but his shoulders all fucked up, and asks you, "So are you? What's the deal with you? Are you our new commander?"
No, I wouldn't want that much responsibility. I'm just here to fight along you.
That answer seems to please them. You're here to help, not to run, not to rule. They appreciate that. Rhonda shows back up and gives you a call. Ransom! The cart's ready, let's go!
All right, I head over and we'll get in the cart.
Yeah, it's nothing fancy. It's just like a regular cart that they would haul supplies up and down with. But she hops in it, along with a couple of wounded soldiers, and makes a motion for you to hop in as well. You can see there are still a few other wounded people that, with the two of you in this cart, there's no room for. They're seemingly happy to let you take their place and head down the mountain first.
Oh, but Rhonda, shouldn't we let these injured gentlemen, any women there, or is it just men fighting?
Men and women. Yeah, it's a mixed company.
Shouldn't we let these gentlemen and women head down first? They're injured.
She looks at them and goes, "Yes, but there'll be another cart soon. Besides, leadership takes priority over these things. They're not in immediate death or fear of death. They'll be fine. They'll be fine, hon. Come on down."
I guess that's true. We're kind of injured as well.
See? Hop on in.
Probably even worse than they are. Kind of glance by. I hop on in.
Yeah, you glance back. They're like being treated by medics. You guys are walking under your own power. Maybe they're worse off. Maybe you're worse off. No, you're no medic. It's not for you to decide. The two of you head down the mountain and back towards Bridgelight, this cart. And while you're in the cart, Rhonda begins to chat in front of the rest of the men about your wedding plans. So, I was thinking we do this at home, at my aunt's house, Kelbell's house.
That's right. Keeping it simple is great.
Oh no, I was gonna say we should do it there because it's large enough to host all of the
Just
lords and
our
ladies.
small group, right? Your family, and then I'll have get my group together. Probably just a few people.
Sweetie, I am of noble birth. There's going to be at least 400 people present. We have to invite all the nobles from our town and the surrounding villages, plus all of the important people who probably won't come, but we still need to extend invitations to them, and their immediate families, and their children, and that sort of thing. This isn't going to be a small affair. You're aware of that, right?
What's the point? They're not going to come anyways. Not to mention, they probably don't really want to come.
It's a matter of tradition and respect. We must invite the other upper-class people to the wedding, otherwise they would be insulted, and it would lower our standing politically.
All right. I'll let you take care of it.
Don't you want to help out?
I don't even know them. How would I even be able to help?
Well, what are your plans? How would you like this to happen? I mean, it's partly yours.
Well, I mean, we've already got everything I need. We've got a place. We just need a cleric, and we're good.
Okay.
Cleric optional.
Cleric not optional. We absolutely need a cleric. It'll be fine. Fine. I'll just take care of it all. I'll just take care of all the details. Fine. I think you guys like sit in silence for the rest of the ride. How far is
You're
it?
so reliable.
It is 11 miles, 12 miles. So you guys spend the rest of the half day in silence on this cart, kind of bumping up and down until you get back to Bridgelight. Rhonda immediately goes off to report to Kelbel and, tell him all about what happened in the mine. Sort of kind of just leaving you in the cart once you guys arrive. She's like hops out and takes off with I'm gonna go report in. See you later. And the other soldiers in the cart, seeing her leave, kind of do their best not to make eye contact with you.
Well, how are you all holding up?
Good, sir. Good.
No, please, no need to call me sir. I'm just one of you, you know?
Well, a little bit wounded, but I'll be fine. They say there's clerics of Martha in Bridgelight that'll tend to us.
That's great. Is that where we should be heading then?
They nod, yeah.
Come on, I'll help you out. If you're,
They walk with you. You help the more wounded of the ones until you get to the Temple of Martha in Bridgelight. The clerics are, knowing that this is going on, are ready to help the wounded soldiers. And one of the clerics comes over and hits you with a Cure Moderate Wounds for 8 points of healing. And then heals the others sufficiently that they'll survive, no problem. Good. And as they're like finishing up the healing, you find yourself standing at the steps to the Temple of Martha in Bridgelight by yourself. What is this a common thing that you found in your time here? That you're just often by yourself? Or is this an unusual thing for you and Rhonda to be separated?
No, we used to walk together more often, but it seems like I'm being left by myself more and more often. But, this is a good time. I've got the men over to the healing. I'll head back over to the castle.
Okay. You make your way back, and you find Rhonda walking through the courtyard with her aunt, Kelbel. Yeah. They see you coming and change their path to walk over towards you. Kelbel gives you a little bit of a wave and says, Ransom, I heard you dealt the killing blow to the ogre chieftain. Good job.
That's right. As I just kind of walk up and give Ron a big hug.
She embraces you, patting you on the shoulders a few times.
And of course, couldn't have done it without Rhonda here.
Right. She said that she led the charge into the mines, and you led the attack on the final beast. You've done well. It's exactly what I would expect from the person I assigned to train her. Good job.
Exactly. What a fighter she's grown up to be. I still see a lot of potential in her.
She looks at you. What do you mean potential?
You know, we're gonna
backhanded compliment.
Threats, and she'll be getting stronger and stronger.
Kelbell tries to hide the smile that starts to cross her face, while Rhonda crosses her arms and looks at you, a little bit miffed at your faint praise. Great. Well, did you have something that you needed? I was busy discussing battle plans and wedding plans. Sometimes I feel like they're the same thing.
Yeah, one's much harder than the other.
With you, that would be the wedding, right?
Of course. Battle plans, they're pretty easy. If you ever need a console, I'm right here, of course.
Rhonda looks like she's about to say something while Kelbell smooths in on the side and says, "We would always value your input, Ransom. I would be happy to have you look over battle plans for me. In fact, speaking of, there has been another orcish incursion lately. This time, the ones that were in the Wrathwood that we remember when we went and handled them, well, the few survivors from that have regrouped with a odd selection of things from Ridgeback Isle. There were some owlbears, and there were some kobolds, and some goblins, and they've somehow scaled the cliffs between Thabin and Raftwood and have marched on Moon Lake. I was getting together with some of the other nobles to see if there's something we can do about this. Would you perhaps be interested in weighing in on our decisions?
Of course. I kind of look at Rhonda. Is she still hurt from the battle? Or has she been taken care of already?
No, she's still wearing her wounds. She hasn't gone to see a cleric about it yet.
Well, Rhonda, you should come to the church as well. We'll get you some healing, and then we'll head out.
I don't have time to go fight another series of battles. Someone has to plan our wedding because there's hundreds of guests, and it has to be absolutely perfect if we are going to become a ruling couple here in Mystria. There's a lot of land open, things are falling apart, and a strong couple like us, a good power couple, could stand to acquire a lot of territory. Everything has to be perfect about this wedding if we're going to one day rule this country.
Huh. I seem to remember prophecy. Something like that was supposed to happen. Yeah, that makes sense.
Good. Why don't you run along? I'll take care of all the details, as usual.
Sure. I run along.
Kelbell takes you back into the inner sanctum of her keep and brings out a couple of maps and begins to discuss with you sort of the makeup of things here and there. And as you guys are discussing battle plans and strategies, during a lull in the conversation, she, drumming her fingers on the table a bit, says, I had a visit while you were off in Sky Peak.
Sure. I imagine you must have a lot of visitors.
Well, this one might be of interest to you. Kellen and Olivia came by.
Wow, they're here already.
They're somewhere.
It's been that long, huh?
They're somewhere in town now. Yeah. Apparently, the pair of them are engaged, and they were asking if they could use. They wanted to call in that favor to use my keep as their reception hall.
Oh, sounds great.
That favor was sort of... You were sort of included in that favor, so I wanted to run it by you before I burned it up, you know? You wouldn't mind using the favor for their wedding?
Yeah, that's fine.
Good. Good. I'm glad that you're on cordial terms with them.
No, really, they kind of think I'm a big jerk, but I still wish them the best.
You're a good man, Ransom.
Of course, that's why your, what is it called, your niece has fallen for me?
Well, I think she's fallen for your sword arm as much as she's fallen for your brain and your heart.
We're gonna be real good friends, Belle.
You know, I'm a little worried that one day you might actually outrank me.
You know what? I'll still need you around, though, if I do.
I had better hope so. Might be weird to have a nephew who outranks me. Odd concept.
Doesn't that happen all the time?
It sure does, but never for me.
Ah, you've been around the block.
Excuse me?
You know, you've been ruling for quite some time.
I mean, I'm only 45. I haven't been ruling for that long. And I think you guys go back to battle plans. Okay. So after those plans get drawn up, and you have a meeting with some other nobles here or there about these things, the other villagers around Moon Lake, someone from Thaben shows up as well, and actually there's a foreign ranger from High Castle over in Eridon, the country on the other side of the canal. That has brought back information to you guys about the Spinewood and Ridgeback Isle. But after all of that is over and done with, you find yourself with a moment alone. Rhonda is probably off planning a wedding somewhere, but not in your room, not your joint room here. What are you gonna do with your spare time?
Man, I'm not used to just getting all this free time. I guess, since I figure I should get to know Bridgelight a bit better.
Hello? Everything is lagging out right now. I don't know what's going on.
Think it's on your end?
I think so too. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Maybe it's stabilizing.
Okay. Well, I'm not used to having all this free time, but since I'm in Bridgelight and it's where future love of my life is, I figure I should get a lay of the land. I'll go out and walk around the city.
Okay. Cool. Any place in particular you're trying to visit or see?
How big a city is Bridgelight?
It's on the middle side of towns, so maybe like 4,000 people in the urban area, and then the surrounding farmlands are, you know, dozens of villages that are 500 people each.
Not much plans. I'll just walk around hitting the hot spots, I guess, the taverns, and mostly those.
Okay, cool.
A gathering spot.
So some of these places that you know, and one of these places is your old friend D, or Chef the Cook, or D the Cook, however you want. He had a bunch of names for a while. The miner turned associate turned cook has opened up his own restaurant called D's Diner. It's like down just off of the main street on this like little side road. The location's maybe not optimal. It's like across the street from a laundry, well, a laundromat, but it's not really a laundromat. Like it's, you know, a place where you would take your laundry, but it's done by hand. And a small like martial arts training facility that's privately run. And Dee's here. He's got his little kitchen set up. And he's hired your old friend Bash as the, what do you call him? The person at the front door who seats people, the person.
The waiter.
Not the waiter, the person, who's the, it's the other role. I can't remember it. The host, that's his name. So it's got Bash as the host, Dee as the cook of Dee's Diner. And, yeah, Bash
That's
sees
great.
you walking by and
stop in.
waves you over. Hey, Ransom, how's it going?
Hey there. What was your name?
Bash.
Oh, right, Bash. Yeah, I mean, what was this
Dee's Diner?
What was this restaurant's name?
Dee's Diner.
Ah, from D. That's
D.
great. Good to see you guys again. You got any small meats on the menu?
You know, we have been preparing a special dish just for you. It's called Ransom's Ransom. I know the name needs a little bit of work, but Dee insisted on calling it that. It is, you know what? Why don't you just sit down? Let me bring you one on the house. It's inspired by you. It's built for you. Just give me a moment. Hold on.
All right, thank you. I'll take a seat.
All right, you take a seat. There are a pair of elves off in the corner singing. One of them is playing an accordion. The other one is just singing. You don't recognize them. You've never seen them before, but you know, it's just a pair of elves over there doing their thing.
Yeah, I'll look at them and my mind will wander and I'll be like, yeah, those guys are not nearly as good as Kess and Kellen.
And a few minutes later, Bash comes back out. He has this like 3-foot long sandwich that is entirely made up of various small meats in like different patterns, mixed with different veggies and sauces, and held together with a series of toothpicks that run down the length of it, so you can like pick up the whole thing and it won't fall apart in your hands.
Wow, what in the world?
Ransom's Ransom.
Well, I'm honored that you've named this creation after me. It's fantastic, I say, as I use a toothpick to pick up one of the small slices. Is that how it works?
Well, you see, we got some salami, some pepperoni. We got little slices of ham. We got little bits of tri-tip in there. There's some rolled up turkey slices. There's a bit of chicken breast and some other chicken thigh over here. We even
great.
have...
What do you think I am, though? An ogre? This thing's 3 foot tall, 3 feet wide.
I mean, we figured if you were gonna like have to ransom from somewhere, you'd need an impressive sandwich to get him back. So we thought the biggest sandwich we could possibly make, and our oven would only cook bread up to 3 feet long, so this is as big as we could make it. Of course, you could probably...
Well, for practical uses, I recommend that you make them footlongs instead.
Okay, all right. What should we call it then? Ransom's footlong? No?
How about the footlong?
The footlong?
Yeah. A footlong sandwich.
Sandwich. Okay. You don't want your name in there somewhere, though?
Sure. How about... We can keep it simple. We'll make it Ransom's Meat.
Ransom's Meat. I like it. Definitely. Ransom's Meat. What about Ransom's Small Meat? Because it's got all these small meats in it. Or no.
Hmm?
No, that's too many words. It's a mouthful, you know. Something more compact.
All right. Well,
Ransom's meat. Perfect. We'll call it that.
fantastic.
And he goes off to inform D of the relative changes. Comes back a few minutes later with D in hand. They chat with you for a little while. Is there anything else that you would particularly like to do on your own before we switch over to Cass's story?
No, I imagine that's how the last few days have been for Ransom.
Perfect. Well, then we're going to go to a break. When we come back, we are going to catch up with Kess, see what she's doing. Ransom won't be here, but Kess will be back. And then after that, we'll just see where we are. We're kind of winging all of this. The story's clearly fractured, and yeah. We'll see you guys on the other side of our break. Bye.